So I'm going to be making some chicken and dumplings for dinner, and for that I'm going to need a pack of chicken thighs, some carrots, an onion, some celery, and some lima beans. And I'll start with adding the chicken to the crock pot, and I'm also going to be using different herbs and spices. Now with the chicken, you want to make sure you get all the feathers off. So I'm going to start out with the carrots. So I added 5 carrots. I'm going to chop my celery. So I added about 5 stalks of celery, and now I'm going to cut my onions. Now if you want, you can caramelize these onions before you add them to the broth, and that will give it a better flavor. But I'm just kind of being lazy about it. So I have 5 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to chop those and then add it to the crock pot. Now I'm going to wait to add the lima beans because these are already cooked and I don't want them to get too soft. But I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. I'm going to add some savory, probably about half a teaspoon of savory, probably about a teaspoon of parsley, probably about a teaspoon of marjoram, probably about half a teaspoon of sage, and just like 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric, and some lemon pepper. About 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper. Now I need to fill up the crock pot. Oh, and I also need a bay leaf. Stick a bay leaf in there. Now finish filling up the crock pot with water. And right about there is good enough. Cover the crock pot, plug it in, turn it on high, just let that cook. Okay, this has been simmering for a while now. I took a nap. Looks like everything's good though. So I'm going to take out these thighs, and this chicken is just falling apart. Take out the bones. Okay, now it has lots of meat in it, and now we're going to add some lima beans, which will add some more protein. I'm going to add a little more water to this. And that's what the broth is looking like so far. I'm going to give it a little taste to see how the salt level is. Yeah, could use some more salt. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, that's good now. Okay, now it's time to make the dumpling dough. So I'm going to use whole wheat pastry flour, but feel free to use white flour. And I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of flour in my bowl. Then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon, maybe 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That's all I have. I'm going to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons of butter. I think it could use a little more butter. So I'm going to get about 3 more tablespoons. It's forming a nice like crumbly dough, which is what we want. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of milk. I think I'm going to go ahead and add another 1/2 cup of milk because it's not quite doughy enough. There we go. That's looking good. Now I'm going to get some water boiling on the stove. Okay, it's beginning to boil now, so what you want to do is take a spoonful and drop it in. And they'll begin rising to the top. Okay, Our dumplings are done. So you want to add some of them to a bowl. And then I have these Tupperware containers that I'm going to be putting the soup in. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop out some dumplings and add them to these Tupperware containers. And then you just top it with your chicken and dumpling soup. And there's the chicken and dumplings.